rights revealed. People don't talk about keeping it real. It's understood that they actually will. An intoxicated and stimulated MC staring in the trees, paranoid on in the breeze. Watch them flee. Hip-hop heads take a walk with me, and what you'll see is a land where the sand's made of crushed up wax. The sky beyond you is Krylon blue, and everybody speaks in a dialect.
Hey guys, MikeDecIsHere with the second battle, so here we go. I start for the Fortress. I start with Heatran. I'm expecting a Heatran to come in, so that's why I use Earth Power, and in comes Gara. So that sucks. So I gotta switch out, and I'm gonna go to Gengar. And he uses Waterfall on the switch, which sucks. I was expecting a Dragon Dance. But I'm in a hole. So I use Thunderbolt. Don't want to overpredict so early. Brings in Flygon. I'm thinking he's gonna use U-turn, so I Thunderbolt again, and he just straight up Stone Edges, which is very bad. But now I can bring in Breloom for free. So I'm going to sub on the switch, and he's going to bring back in his Gara to get the Intimidate. I'm still thinking DD, but I Spore and use the Sleep Talk. I'm like, crap. Gengar's gone. Bulky Gara is really, really bad. So so he roars me away. Out comes Rachi. I Iron Head. He roars. And now I'm in a hole. So I'm thinking he's going to overpredict and use Sleep Talk, so I use Sub. But he makes the right play and just roars me away. So, so now I'm going to... He brings out my Flygon. I'm going to use U-turn because Stone Edge is obvious. And he brings in Rotom. And, yeah, Rotom is very bad. So I'm going to use Iron Head. He flinches. That means I'm faster. I'm going to set up a sub because I don't know what he wants to do. He sets up a sub as well. So I Iron Head, and he Thunderbolts, and that breaks my sub. That's really bad. I'm going to sub again, because I still don't know what he wants to do, and he Will-O-Wisps me. And that is really bad. That puts me in a really bad spot. So I need to get out. I switch to Suicune, and he brings back in Gara. I'm going to use Hidden Power Electric, because I know it'll do some decent damage. And, yeah, he just roars me away, and that didn't do as much as I thought. Yeah, bulky Suicune is kind of weak. So I have my Breloom in. I use Seed Bomb because I want to see how much damage it'll do, and it does 31%, which probably was max, which isn't that good. So I'm staying in. I'm trying to get as much damage as I can on this thing, even though, which is really weird. I should have just switched out. But whatever, I stayed in. He uses Seed Bomb again. I'm going to sub. He switches to Rachi. I don't know what kind it is I'm going to sub, but he actually switches back to Gara. I guess he did that to get the Intimidate off. But I have a free sub. I'm just going to stay in and use Seed Bomb. And now I got to get out, because there's nothing I could do against this thing. I'm thinking about what I want to go to, and I go to Flygon. I was thinking Heatran for a bit, but I'm thinking if he gets Waterfall, I'm going to die. So I bring in Flygon. Stone Edge is obvious, but I'm going to use U-turn. He stays in, which is really bad. But that means I can bring in Suicune again. So I use Hidden Power. He brings in his Rotom, and I decided to Calm Mind because I don't think that this thing seems pretty bulky, so I don't think that's going to be that threatening. So I decided to set up a Calm Mind, thinking that he might switch or use Will-O-Wisps, expecting a switch on fear of Thunderbolt. But I actually think a while about this. Wow. Oh no, he's thinking a bit. I guess he's thinking a bit for this. So I think he's just thinking what to do. He doesn't know if I'm going to switch or not. So he makes the right play and just Thunderbolts, and I go for the Calm Mind, which means that I'm in a little trouble here. This means that this thing is modest, and I think it's modest based off that damage calc. But I mean, 2 Thunderbolts are going to KO me again, so I can't really do anything. But I know he's going to Thunderbolt again, going for the kill, so I'm just going to U-turn. So at this point, I don't want to overpredict. I'm just going to Stone Edge because I need to kill something. I need one of his pokes dead because that's going to break his stall at this point. Yeah, yeah, he was actually thinking about Will-O-Wisp, but it was too risky, which is a good call, because I was thinking about Rest for a bit. So it brings in Fortress. He gets up his Rocks, which is going to put me in a bit of trouble. I Spore, he goes to sleep. I'm going to Focus Punch because Gara switch is obvious. I don't want to waste a sub. So I use Focus Punch. I switch to Suicune and he roars me away, which is good because I was thinking about going to Flygon, but I was thinking, what if he roars? That would put me in a really bad hole. So I'm going to Stone Edge, and I get a crit. And that's huge. Jar was really the one thing that was stopping me from beating this team. And with it gone, Breloom, it has a huge opening. So I'm going to, I think he brings, I don't know, he's thinking for a while what to bring in on Flygon. I think his best option at this point is to go with Fortress, because yeah, it's just that's gonna be the Fortress or Rachi, and he ends up going with Rachi. I still don't know what variant this is, so I'm gonna switch to Suicune as Death Fodder to Scout, and use his Thunderbolt, which isn't good because that means that it's a CM variant. So yeah, luckily I have Heatran, but unless it's Super Rachi, this thing isn't gonna be that threatening. He switches to Bliss. I'm going to set up my rocks knowing he's going to protect. Here, I know he's going to switch to Rotom because I'm going to use Explosion. So I go with Fire Blast, and he brings in Rotom, and I KO it, which is huge. Here, I'm expecting. I don't want to overpredict and use Earthquake. So I'm just going to let him. I'm going to let him hit me with U-turn. Brings in Rachi. I'm expecting Flygon to come back in here because Earthquake is so obvious, and I Outrage. And that's sick, because I just KO'd the Flygon, which is huge. Rachi comes back in. I mean, it's going to set up, but it's really not that threatening. He sets up a CM. I'm still not broken out. The best thing to do there would have been just to kill me with Psychic. That's what happens when you get greedy. So, I'm going to use Fire Blast, you do Thunderbolt. It's going to do 44%. I do a little less than what I want. I guess that was max damage, actually, based on how much my next Fire Blast did. But I put him in a good percentage. I know nothing else on his team resists Earthquake, meaning that I can just roll over the rest of his team. Fortress is asleep. That crit in the long run really didn't matter unless he woke up here. And even then, I could just bring in Breloom and just Sport, and then just Focus Punch to kill the Rachi. So, yeah, that's gonna end up being the game. So I think after I KO the Fortress, he's going to quit because realizing that he can't win. So, oh no, he's gonna KO with Seismic Toss, and I'm gonna bring in Breloom, and realizing he can't win, he's just gonna run. So, yeah, good game inside, and peace.